All right, Kenman here, and today we have a beauty from the collection of Kevin Smith and Knives. He sent me several really cool pieces for us to check out, enjoy for a little while, and then we'll send them back to Kevin. We have a Reate Knives, the GTR. Oh, this is exciting. This is a serious banger today. Let's get into it and check this bad boy out. Look at what Kevin sent us. Got some cloth. Looks like some washers, some screws to swap out. Oh, this thing is sick. So let's just look at it real quick. GTR, zirconium, titanium bead blasted handle, Bowler M390 hand satin blade, titanium bead blast clip, 140 pieces made, number 140 of 140. Interesting. Look at this, the Reate GTR. This knife is sick. The more you look at it, the more you find. The more you see, the more you fall in love with it. Soak it up. Look at this. Notice anything? Integral? What? So it looks like flipper tab only. I don't know. Can't really get in there to flick it out on the one side. I can on this side because of the frame lock. On this side, the lefty, it's hard. You got to get your thumb off of there, which then puts you back like here. And I have a hard time. There we go. We flick that out. So not really designed for the lefty. That isn't really a thumb stud. It's more of a stop pin, but you can get in there and thumb stud it, but it's pretty tight. It's kind of hard to do. Come on, give it to me. I did it once. Ugh. Again, not really designed to be a thumb stud. You're looking at that flipper tab. But the detent on here is designed for that flipper tab. It's tight. You get in here and just don't push against the lock bar and slam it out. Kenman, you are sucking today. We are. All right, no lock bar pressure, flipper tab, fires it out. The Reate GTR. So we have a bead blasted titanium integral handle, which means that is one piece milled out, which just gets wilder and wilder by the second. So yes, we have inserts, we have add-ons and stuff, but imagine this solid piece, the lock bar coming around the back, and this whole side is one piece of titanium milled out, hollowed out of the center. We got these relief holes cut in at an angle. We have the slots cut across back here. We have this inset, excuse me, kind of a hole that drops down, and then there's a thinner section right there with the holes in it like a screen. You can see through there the flat back of that. They milled that whole beautiful shape and design out of that one piece. That is wild. Got these little inserts on here, the little zirconium inlay, this big disc of zirconium. Tell me that's not super cool. Flipper tab, as long as you catch it, it flips out, fires out nice. There's some jimps under there. If you look, they roll all the way around the spine. If someone has a really strong grip, they may be able to front flip that. I can't. My wrists are weak. That flipper tab is slamming though. But those jimps hang down into there, so your thumb kind of drops into here and hits those really, really well. I like that. Got a choke up finger choil. Feels good for doing some work. Tip is right in a good spot for getting there and getting to it. Got that harpoon way out there. Fits great for my index finger for a nice little draw cut. How about that? M390 on that hand satin blade with that nice flat grind, little swedge on the top, the harpoon, the fuller hole, tip in a great spot. So Reate on that side, M390 label right in there, and then we have the number 140 of 140. That's kind of cool. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, the lower number, I have number 1 or I have number 7 or something like that. But 140 out of 140, that's kind of a cool number to have, I think. They perfected it 139 times, and then this one is the ultimate, right? Really cool stuff, nice solid. So because it's that integral, there aren't really any extra screws. You got this screw that holds on the pocket clip, right side only, no love for the lefties with this knife here. You got the little inserts for these little pieces, these black pieces, and the zirconium, that ring, that little DJ kind of a record look. You guys know what a record is? We're too young for that. Nice little jimps on the back of that flipper tab. You got to keep your finger off. If you push on that lock bar, you can kind of lock it in. Get it over there. It flips out nice. Let's check out the detent. Boom. Pulls in tight. Nice and solid bump. Again, you barely get a hold of it, and once it starts going, it's going to fire out nice. I think that detent is set quite well. Let's try to push button fail it. Slides on out. Got a nice little weight behind the blade. We're talking mirror edge polish finish on that. Look at that edge, if I can get the angle to it here. There you go. Crazy. We'll see how sharp that is in a second. I do like the branding on there, how they tuck it in there nice and tight, the little Reate on there. Doesn't take away from this design. What do we think about this knife? Very cool. I like that harpoon way out on the blade tip. Fits my finger real nice from there. Choke up, my hand's a little long for that, but average size hands probably fit it really well. This is a larger knife though. This integral, the work that they've done, these cuts, every little step required to get this to where it is out of one piece, that is crazy, right? High quality from Reate right here. I dig it. Okay. Blade is right in the center where it should be. Solid. No play, no movement there. I dig it. Good stuff. Alrighty. Wow. Definitely longer than I was expecting. Almost 9 inches, 8 7/8 end to end. That's wild. All right. I like a large knife. Not quite 4-inch. You could say at an angle that's a 4-inch blade, but really it's more like 3 3/3, almost a 3 7/8. Definitely a large blade. We're looking at 3 3/4 on the cutting surface with a slight curve on the belly. 5 inches on the handle. What a hog. I dig it. It doesn't seem to be as big as it is. I guess it definitely hangs out when I grab it here. There's quite a bit in the back. I got that choke up. You got 2.5 finger grip back there. So yeah, this thing is big. It doesn't seem huge though, which is nice. It kind of feels good in the hand. 0.15. We're talking thick. That is some thick stock right there. Right there, tell you what. 0.15 goes all the way out to right there. You got this little wedge relief cut here. The main grind, nice and long. Great spot for the point. Good little belly on there. But boom, most of it is 0.15. That is thick. 0.55 on the handle. 1 exactly there. It does get a little thinner at the back, 0.91. I tend to like them fat on the butt side. 1.15. I just have a big hand, so I like having that extra grip in the back. This feels fine though. This is large, so I'm kind of still up here. All right. What did I say on the blade thickness? 1.26. Battery is still flashing and alive. Will it ever give up on us? All right. Definitely feels heavy. 5.48. I compare everything with the drop bear, 3.29. So 5.48. I mean, it's a long, big knife, little heavy, but it's a larger knife. So is 5.5 really all that heavy when you're getting into a 9.5 inch knife or whatever? It doesn't feel too heavy in the hand. It actually feels nice, but I like some weight on a blade. So for me, this is solid. And man, I'm just going to say right now that is very crisp. This is an expensive knife. These are well over $400 if they're even available. Thank you, Kevin, for sending this out. I tell you what. But a very crispy, snappy sound. Pops out, feels good. All right, here's that Kaiser drop bear, your bug out killer, your pyrite size. Nice daily carry, not quite full size. Good user, the drop bear. Inch shorter on the front, almost an inch shorter on the back. Definitely a smaller offering, but this is a great user size. Look at all those gems. Fantastic. The Reate GTR, though, this is a big boy, a very nice premium. This integral is wild. I just don't understand how they're able to cut in there deep, get those, cut these in an angle, cut these grooves all the way through at an angle. Just so much going on. Very impressive machining. I can dig it and appreciate. Okay, this is Kevin's knife. I don't know how much he's used it. It looks like it's been fairly well babied. Not much going on. Maybe have never really been sharpened all that much. That edge has definitely got a mirror to it, but how sharp is it? Let's find out. Ooh. That is effortless. Look at that curly. You barely get in there. Wow. 9.5. I don't do 10s. There. Look at how nice and curled up that gets. This goes through the paper very well. Oh, yeah. That is great. It's trying to just hack off super short and tight. That's fantastic. High quality, as you would expect from Reate, and especially at this price point. This is a killer knife all the way. Anyone would be proud to have this, hold this. This integral really shows off what you can do with a chunk of titanium. Amazing. Thank you again to Kevin Smith and Knives for entrusting me to check out some of these beautiful knives that you've got. Oh, they feel great. Look great. This thing is cool. If you are in the market for a crazy, wild, awesome knife, this might be the one. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.